30%. This hike can also be raised up to 50 to 100%. In some situations, people have got a hike of 100%, but that's one of the cases. So and that is the reason these job hoppers, they keep switching the company. Hi, I'm Rajesh and welcome to another edition of Vlogging with Rajesh G. How are you guys doing today? I hope all of you are doing great and I hope it continues that way. Couple of times we come across people who keep switching their job the moment they get a good opportunity. Do you know what is this practice called in the industry? It is called job hopping. And there are certain advantages, there are disadvantages also. So, you know why people do that? Job hopping? Let me tell it to you. The first very advantage is higher pay package. So you know what, when you stick to an organization, your average salary hike on an annual basis would be 5 to 10%. But when you decide to switch company from one company to another, the minimum hike that you can ask your future employer is 30%. This hike can also be raised up to 50 to 100%. In some situations, people have got a hike of 100%, but that's one of the cases. So and that is the reason these job hoppers, they keep switching the companies because they are getting a 30% hike, which usually will take them 3 years time if they stick to an organization. So anyhow, within 3 years time, people usually make their mind to move out. So they just, shorten the process of getting that salary hike. Second is career growth. So what happens when you're in an organization? You may be elevated to the next level after certain years based on the experience and skill set. But when you're switching jobs from one organization to another, you can always request your future employer, hey, I'm working at this designation and if I'm coming to your organization, other than a salary hike, I would also like to have a change in my designation. And most of the companies agree to it. So as a result of which, within a short span of time, you will be at a managerial level or a level higher than that. Third, building network. So every time an individual joins an organization, they build some connections or network, which they carry with them when they move out of the organization. Like I have built some connections in all the organizations I have worked, and few have, become my friends, like BFFs, like best friends forever. And today also, if in case I am in a situation which I'm not able to handle at a professional level, all I need to do is to call them and they will say, okay Rajesh, this is the way how we can do it. And if in case they are not able to help me, they will connect me to the right person who can help me get out of that situation. So that's a professional networking or a network that you build over a period of time, and this help is always mutual. So if they want my help, I will also render my support. So more the number of organizations, more is the amount of networks that you have built. Because if you're staying in a particular organization, how many employees will change your department? Very few. How many? Because the faces are the same. The level of interaction is also limited. But when a person switches multiple jobs, he comes across multiple people, many new faces, and he decides who is the connection with whom he has to connect and take it forward. Now, if there are so many advantages which look very lucrative, then there are certain disadvantages too. First and foremost is learning curve is hampered. Now you have to ask me, how is the learning curve hampered? After you have learned a new skill, you have to implement it at work. And it is at that time you will come to know about the certain flaws in that process and things like that. And it is a time-taking process. So what happens, you have just acquired a skill, immediately you switch to a new organization, and where you are implementing it for the very first time, what will happen is, like, since you are not aware of the shortcomings of the implementation, things may backfire on you. Now, the most important drawback for job hoppers are companies refrain to hire them. You'll be wondering why. See, whenever a new resource enter an organization, company expects certain amount of growth through that resource over a period of time. But when a job hopper enters an organization, companies can't rely on them because they don't know when this person will leave the organization and go, and the growth projection of the organization will be hampered, as a result of which they completely refrain. Because in the job market, what recruiters usually do is they will always try to look for profiles who have stayed in an organization at least for 2 years, and they will refrain hiring candidate who have switched job on an annual basis or within less than a year, unless you have a very valid and viable reason for your job switching. Because no company would like to get their growth prospects hampered. And second most important thing is, hiring is a very, very, very tedious process. The moment a person moves out or abruptly ends his association with an organization, the entire cycle has to be redone, and it may take quite some time, which is not good for the organization in the long run. So I hope this video was informative for you. If that's the case, like the video, share the video, post your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, bye bye, take care and spread the power of positivity around.